my new Zodiac edition. So today I am going to bring all of my lovely Geminis their monthly message for the month of February. So as you all know, I am a spiritual advisor, I'm an intuitive coach, and I love to provide guidance and wisdom and inspiration every week right here on this channel. So this is going to be the Zodiac edition. So this is going to be all for you, Gemini, all for you, directly for you. Please note that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with every single Gemini out there. So I ask that you take with you what you want and you leave the rest behind. So if you're new to this channel, if you happen to stumble upon this, welcome to Eileen into Spirit. Welcome to the Spirit Fam. We ask that you just please give us a like, subscribe down below, and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I drop new content for you. So let's get started. So I first want to start out with an oracle message, Gemini. I want to see, I actually want to see what we have going on for you. So let's get started. Angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, what message do you have for Gemini this month? The month of February. Do we want this one? Yes. Okay. What message do you have for my lovely Geminis this month, the month of February? So our first card up, Gemini, we have chop wood. So chop wood is really about doing things that help you remain grounded. You are an air sign, so that really means that you tend to sort of be very up there, especially if you're very in tune with your intuition. That really tells me that you love to either meditate, you love to really be up in the clouds. And so it's going to be very important, Gemini, that you actually do things that help you remain grounded. Being grounded is really going to help you to have very clear thinking. You're going to really have precise, in tune, a lot of clarity in regards to your intuition. We also got unfinished symphony. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, please know that I love numbers. Numbers talk to me in so many different ways. So unfinished symphony, what this really tells me is that we are in the age of Aquarius right now, which is also another air sign. But what I'm really picking up for you, Gemini, is that what we have is that you sort of feel like you've been on this journey and you sort of feel that it's been a never-ending journey, that it's almost like you feel like the moment you get to one new step, you feel like there's still another step. There's still more that I have to do. It almost feels like you've been on this quest, this unfinished marathon of a quest, okay? But what I think is really important here is that, and I think this is why we got chop wood first, okay? With this feeling that you're sort of feeling as if you've been on this unfinished quest and you feel like things have just not been moving in the way that that you feel, or that they haven't really been progressing the way that you would want them to, it's because you're not grounded. By not being grounded, you're not really seeing things clearly. And also it could be because you're overthinking the situation. So the other card you got was Thinker, okay, which is a 44. So 4s truly represent stability, security, and foundation. So when I'm looking at these, what I'm really seeing here is that it's important that the month of February, you really remain grounded. Do the things that might feel boring to you or that might feel mundane, because it is in those things that you're going to receive the clarity that the quest that you've been on, that it's been fruitful. There has been a reason. There is a reason why you've been feeling as if you've been running a marathon, okay? And don't overthink these things. Like, you really want to, basically the idea of having the chopped wood is to really make it very clear for you the reasoning behind the marathon that you've been going, why things feel that they have not been finished. It's because you're not seeing them clearly. You're over analyzing everything. So let's get right into the tarot. Let's see. All right, angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, what information do you have for my lovely Geminis this month, in the month of February? What information do you have for my Geminis this month, the month of February? So if you're very new to my channel, please note that I love to get all of my cards out first before I start interpreting. So please look down in the description box so that you can actually see when we actually start interpreting the tarot cards. So to start off our journey, so this really tells me, the first card really tells me where you are. And so what we are, where you're at right now is the Page of Swords. So what this tells me is that Geminis, you all are on, you feel like you're on this unfinished quest because you're learning. There are a lot of you that sort of feel like you're learning all there is to learn about, whether it's something new, whether you're moving into a new job, you're sort of educating yourself. You're educating yourself into this sort of this new journey that you feel that you haven't really known for a very long time. Or it could be that it's absolutely brand spanking new. All right, we are almost there. I definitely tell that this is for an air sign because I've got quite a few swords, which is air energy. It's about, you know, proper communication. You know, this month you might also be getting a lot of new ideas, new inspirations that are going to be very inspirational in a way that it's coming from spirit. So just be open to that. Okay. All right, last card. Thank you. Okay, well, we got two, so I'm going to take it. Okay. All right, Gemini, here we go. Let me look at this real quick. Let me make sure that I see, because I love to look at numbers. Okay. All right, here we go. As I mentioned earlier, we start our journey and our quest this month in the Page of Swords, okay? So again, as I said, this is really going to be about you learning, you going on a new adventure. You're really going to be, whether you're in a new job, whether you're in a new relationship, whatever that might be, really be open to new ways of doing things, okay? Really be open to new ways of doing things. Be open to communicating. And communication is going to be so important for you this month. Really communicate how you feel. Don't allow yourself to sort of hide back in the back, even though if you're in something entirely new and it might feel like almost like you're too afraid or you're too timid to actually speak up. Don't do that. Like, you're really, in order for you to truly learn, in order for you to not overanalyze everything, you need to be able to speak up and really allow your deep comprehension and your deep thinking to really be able to voice your concerns or making sure that you're understanding things clearly. Okay. We then move into the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. What this is really telling me, Gemini, is that with the Wheel of Fortune, it's important that you remember that energy is energy. The energy that you give is the energy that you receive. So for this month, I really sort of feel that even though you have felt like you've been on this unfinished symphony, even though you feel like you've been on this quest that is just never ending, things are moving in a much lighter direction for you. You sort of feel that even though it might feel like you haven't reached the finish line, you still feel like you're progressing and you still feel like things are moving in a much lighter way and in a much happier way. Okay. So that's what I'm picking up with the Wheel of Fortune. We then move into Strength. Okay. Now with the Strength card, this really speaks to the new inspirations that you're going to be getting from the Page of Swords. Okay. And it's really about allowing yourself to truly listen to your body. It's really about really listening to your body and how your body feels at certain points in the day, and also how your body responds to certain ideas or inspirations that you get, okay? Strength really signifies a fire energy for me because it really represents a Leo. And this is going to be so important if you actually have Leo rising somewhere in your chart, because it is the face that you tend to show to the world, okay? So I want to point out that with this, it's going to be really important that you tune into that you really tune into how your body is responding in any given situation. That speaks a lot to me about the chopped wood that we got earlier, okay? We're then going to move into the Hanged Man, okay? So I love where this Hangman sort of sits because it sits right underneath the Page of Swords, which means that because you're on this new quest and you're on this new journey and you're sort of learning things that you're in new territory, right? So you're learning things that you've never known before, right? And the Hangman really speaks about you being willing to see things from a very different perspective and being open to multiple options or multiple ways of doing things. What I want to point out about the Hangman is that the Hangman purposefully puts himself in the upside down position because he wants to get a different perspective. He wants to see things from a very different way. And what this really tells me is that even though you have a certain way of how you do things, especially when you're learning something new, it is important that you be flexible, that you be willing to do things differently than you've done them before. Okay. All right. So the heart of the reading here is the Seven of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so how I read is whenever I have a center card and the bottom deck energy, this really tells me the overall energy. So what I have is the Seven of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so the Seven of Swords really speaks to me about deception and intention. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is really about sowing your seeds, okay? Now, here's what I find very interesting. What I'm actually getting for you, Gemini, is that this month, it's going to be really important that you pay attention to the intentions that you are setting. If you are truly on this new quest, if you feel like you're moving in a new direction and you're learning things differently and you're doing things differently, right? Because you have the Page of Swords with the Hangman, you're being open to newer ways of doing things than you've normally done them before, right? So it's going to be very important that with this Seven of Swords, you be very clear about your intentions. What exactly is it that you're bringing in with your intentions, right? Are you being completely and utterly honest with yourself, or are you being deceptive? And what I mean by deceptive is, are you self-sabotaging your own work? What I love about this Seven of Swords is that you have the moon, right? The moon really speaks to me about your emotions, the emotions that you have. Now, it's important that you remember that when you set specific intentions, you have emotions that are attached to those intentions. So it's important that your intentions match your vibrational frequency with the emotions that you attach to those. Because this really shows me someone who's trying to get away with something. So don't deceive yourself. Don't sabotage yourself from what you're trying to get. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, even though it is the slowest moving knight in the deck, it is steady and it is foundational, right? Because this knight is going along his journey in a new path, right? But he is sowing all of his seeds. He is building that solid foundation. So remember, even though you might feel like you are on an unfinished symphony, you might feel like you're on this never-ending trek. Sort of brings up the never-ending story for me. I don't know why, but I just literally hear that song in my head, the never-ending story. And okay, this is why they're telling me the never-ending story, right? because you keep telling yourself that it's a never-ending story. The intention that you set with that is what is sowing your seeds, right? So if you keep telling yourself that you're on this never-ending story, then you're always going to get that. And the other thing with the chopped wood, which is why it's so important that you ground, because you air signs, when you all set that intention, you're so there, connected instantly with your intuition. You don't realize that you guys manifest at such a quick pace, right? With this chopped wood, it also tells me that if you continue to do what you've done, you will always get what you've always gotten, right? So it's important that you remain grounded to receive the clarity so that your intentions are aligned with your higher self. When you get that, then you'll be able to actually see everything that you've accomplished along your path, along your way, right? Okay, so then we move into the Two of Swords, okay? So this is where we start moving along the path of where you're really wanting to go. Really ask yourself, what is it that I really want? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? The Two of Swords really talks about making a choice and really utilizing your intuition to guide you, right? Not really listening to everybody else, but truly listening deep within, listening to your higher self, listening to yourself, right? Because a lot of times when I see the Two of Swords, I really feel like you're sort of at an impasse. You're at a crossroads where you're being given a choice of going one way or going another way. And you're sort of left like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know what is my best course of action. The angels have always said, it doesn't matter which road you choose. Every road, every option, every fork in the road that you come across leads you to the same destination, which I always hear, all roads lead to Rome. So it's important that you remember that you remain balanced, that you remain connected, that you utilize your intuition, even though you're blindfolded and you might not know what's ahead of you. Use your intuition. Your intuition will always lead you in the right direction. It will never lead you astray, okay? And the reason why you feel so confused, okay, with this Two of Swords is because of this Eight of Swords, right? So the Two of Swords is really making you feel like you're restricted and you're bound and you're not able to see things clearly for what they are. Because when I see this Eight of Swords, what I'm really recognizing is that you have chosen to stay in that fork in the road. You have chosen to not make a choice. And by choosing to not make a choice, you feel that you're bound and that you're restricted and that you can't move. And that is why it feels like everything is a never-ending story with you. Because you're consciously making a choice to stay where you are instead of really listening to your inner guidance, which is trying to lead you in a new direction. But you keep overthinking it, right? With this thinker card, you keep overthinking it. You're not really allowing yourself to see things for what they are, which is why you're still getting what you've always gotten, which is why you're constantly seeing the same results, okay? But with this Eight of Swords, what this really tells me is that you have a choice. It is up to you to make a choice, to change the direction, to choose. Not so much pick a side, but choose. Choose which road you want to take, right? Listening to your intuition and allowing it to guide you will help you really, truly feel connected to where that road is going to lead you. Because with this Page of Swords, really tells me that you want a new adventure. You want something new. You want to explore. You want to learn new things. You want to be on a brighter horizon. But you have to be willing to make that choice, okay? We're coming towards the end of your journey, okay, for this month. So we have the Sun in reversed, okay? I can understand why the Sun is reversed here, because right now you sort of feel like you're bound and you're restricted. It's that never-ending story, that unfinished symphony that you feel that is just never going to end, right? But the moment that you choose yourself here, the moment that you realize that you have a choice to get out of your own way and allow yourself to see things for what they are, the moment that you say, I'm ready, and I'm ready to step out of this basket. Because look how this woman is in this basket. She is choosing to stay there. She has the choice. Notice how the reflection that she sees, she feels and she believes that she is bound and restricted, that she's being held captive there. But when you actually see her in the basket, there are no bounds. There's nothing holding her there. It is her own illusion that is keeping her steady in this space. But the moment that you get out of that basket, the moment that you step out and you say, I'm ready, this sun card will turn this way, because you'll start to feel much better. You'll start to feel as if you're approaching your happiness, right? Now, what I want to point out is that you end up with an Ace of Pentacles, okay? This is beautiful, okay? Because if you truly want a new adventure, which is clearly what this is showing me, you clearly want a new adventure. You want something new. You want to be able to move in a newer direction. And the universe and spirit is willing to offer you this new opportunity, right? The Ace of Pentacles is really about the resources that's going to be deeply rooted in the physical, okay? It's a new opportunity. It's abundance. It's growth, right? And what also came out with it was the Three of Wands, which really tells me, when I look at these two cards together, the Three of Wands really speaks about you having faith. You have that blind faith. You know that your new opportunity, your new adventure is on its way to you, because you believe that spirit is gifting this to you, and you're waiting. You're going to be waiting for that new opportunity to show up, and you're going to listen to your intuition, and you're going to allow it to move you in that direction. All right, so I want to draw one more oracle card just so that I could sort of wrap this up. Okay, so angels, what additional information do you have for my lovely Geminis? What additional information do you have for my lovely Geminis this month? What additional information do you have for my lovely Geminis? I am going to put down in the description box the cards that I used for today's reading in case you are interested. All right, so here we have gravity, groundedness. Okay, so this is really going to speak a lot about the chop wood, okay, that we have for you this month, Gemini. So what this is really asking you is that you need time to really set aside for yourself to really feel connected, right? I think it's because you keep telling yourself that you're on this never-ending quest. And as I'm recording this, it's 11:11. So that is important, right? So this is going to be your aha moment. In order for you to create a new story for yourself and to be able to move on this new adventure that you are wanting for yourself, you need to set aside time for you to feel connected to your body, to feel connected to spirit, to feel connected to the earth. That is what this groundedness really is. It's you recognizing that even though you are an air sign, you still are a part of the evolution of everything going on around you. And you must allow yourself the time to feel connected to that, because you are just as much a part of everything going on as everyone else. This is where your true transformation is going to begin, right? The moment that you start setting aside time for yourself to be connected, whether it's with your intuition, whether you set aside time for meditation, spend some time outdoors in nature, whatever it is, the moment that you start doing that on a routine basis, I don't care if you do it for just 5 minutes a day, find time, and that is what you would call your time, right? That is your time for you to be connected. What I usually find what really helps me feeling grounded is I take salt baths every night. So my Geminis, maybe you need to start using some salt scrubs when you shower. That really helps you feel connected. Or maybe you can start taking some salt baths. Really set aside time for you to feel grounded and connected to yourself. And that is when you're going to start getting all of these brilliant ideas, these aha moments, that you're going to start recognizing that this entire journey has gifted you so many amazing opportunities of growth. And all you had to do was choose a path. Choose the path that is most aligned with your highest self. And the moment you do that, you're going to start to transform. You're going to start to recognize that this unfinished symphony has just led up to coming to an end, so that you could actually achieve a new beginning that you know is going to be on its way to you. All right, my lovely Geminis, that is your message for this month. I thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you next month for your monthly forecast. Namaste, guys.